Space Cadet is about a party girl from Florida who realizes that maybe she hasn't reached her full potential of fulfilling her lifelong dream of becoming an astronaut. So she kind of goes on this wild ride to see if that dream could actually be a possibility. I think that audiences will want to see this movie because it is super inspiring. It's super fun. The ensemble cast is amazing in it. I love everyone that I got to work with on this movie beyond. And also there's a lot of good summer hair, makeup, and wardrobe inspo in it, just saying. Yes, Poppy was 7 months pregnant when we were filming the movie, and my son was one at the time. So I had been through it all, and most of the time when I was pregnant, I was laying in bed. So I don't know how Poppy worked her entire pregnancy up until like the day before she could fly. She was working on Space Cadet. So snaps for pregnant moms. I don't think I would pass the physical or emotional testing they give astronauts before going to space. I think I would puke and or cry, but I would love to inspire other people to go to space. When I was younger, I wanted to be an actor, so I feel very grateful that I am still getting to do that now, all this time later, and still getting to do movies and TV shows that inspire me. And also, when I was younger, I never really thought it was like a thing where I could also produce and maybe one day direct or write. And now I've seen so many more amazing women who are so talented come into the spotlight with writing and directing and producing. And that's made me think now in my 30s, like maybe there's so much more to even achieve in my career as an actress and doing more. So I'm excited to kind of see, what else I can do within that space. I'm actually trying to think my favorite scene. I mean, I loved all of the stuff we got to actually shoot at the NASA location in Huntsville, Alabama. It was so cool to actually like see all that up close. And we got to go in that thing where they strap you in and you hold on and you spin really, really, really fast. It's like it's like something with centrifugal force, I should know. But it was so much fun to film that. And my character in the movie had to be miserable while doing it. And for some reason, I was having such a laugh attack while I was spinning. And I just kept like laughing so hard and had to keep reminding myself, like, wait, Rex is miserable. Rex is not having fun. But really, the 12-year-old in me that wanted to go to space camp and never got to go was like screaming with delight. One thing I want people to know before watching Space Cadet, I mean, you can watch this movie with anybody you want because we were saying it's really embarrassing when you start watching a movie with your parents and you realize it's not appropriate to watch with them or a sibling. So this movie is approved to watch sitting next to anybody, and you don't need to worry about anything weird happening. My character Rex is a Florida party girl, bartender. Her dream since she was a kid was to go to space, but it kind of fell by the wayside after she lost her mom. And now she's realizing she needs to chase that dream and do whatever it takes. And her bestie is going to help her by all ways necessary get to space. So I fell in love with the character Rex because she has endless confidence. She is always ready to put herself out there in a way that I think we should all learn from. I definitely felt like more confident in my skin after playing her. And I just feel like the messaging in the movie to be yourself and don't be embarrassed to put yourself out there as yourself really resonated with me. And it makes me happy to know that people are going to see this movie and hopefully feel that at the end of it. I feel like this movie is a true ensemble movie, and I love doing ensemble movies. I think it's so much fun. the casting process and everyone bringing their own like quirkiness to the character. And what I love about Space Cadet is that Liz Garcia, who wrote and directed the movie, she the way she cast everybody, once she did, she was like, "Oh, Poppy, you're 7 months pregnant. Okay, your character is now pregnant in the movie. Oh, Tom Hopper, you're British. Now your character is British in the movie." Like she just kind of took every role and tailored it to the actor instead of making the actor tailor themselves to the role. And I think that's really unique for a director to do in an authentic way and also a way that makes the movie better. And so I just loved getting to see all of that come to life in this movie. The relationship between my character and Poppy's character, aka Rex and Nadine, is very Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, one of my favorite movies. But also what I loved is that they just love each other so much. And even like in the brief like moment that they maybe disagree during the movie, it's still because they love each other so much. And I haven't seen like such an earnest friendship portrayed in so long between two women in a movie. And I just love their relationship. And I think Liz did such an amazing job writing this relationship and also the fact that it was Poppy. I mean, she just brought her spin on it the way she does with everything she does. And I felt like made the role so much more interesting, it made me better, and just made every day more fun.
Sure. Well, Space Cadet is a heartwarming comedy about a young woman who realizes that she has strayed very far from her dreams. And she finds the sort of audacious courage to go after that dream again. And her dream is becoming an astronaut. So the movie is about her fish out of water, unlikely journey trying to achieve this dream. And I'm confident that people are going to laugh and possibly cry a little bit because it is an emotional movie, but it's something that the whole family can sit down and enjoy. So, in order to shoot one of our sequences where Rex is learning how to fly a jet, we had to actually have this jet that's this really unusual plane that civilians don't own. We had to have it flown in from halfway across the country. And then we had to do a combination of stunts with the guy who owns the jet and then placing Emma and the other actor, Josh Harto, in the jet and towing it while it was off. So it was like your classic movie magic, piecing everything together. And I was just, on the ground with the camera, hoping and praying that it was all going to cut together. And it did. I don't really see myself ever going to space, not because I'm not incredibly curious about it, but because I am a risk averse person, which is why I only write about adventurous people doing adventurous things so that I myself can experience it in the comfort of my own imagination. But I encourage everyone else who has more guts than I do to look into traveling to space. When I was a kid, I had a few lofty career goals, one of which was that I was going to be Janet Jackson when I grew up. Yeah, I was going to be like an amazing singer, dancer type actress as well. And my natural temperament got in the way of that dream, totally like the dream of a 9-year-old. But I also started to think about becoming a writer back then. And that sounded like a pretty good gig. And I can now report as an adult, it's an excellent gig. I think that I most love all the scenes that we shot in Huntsville, Alabama at the Air and Space Museum because it felt like summer camp. Like most of the crew from New York got to travel down and be in this place where they have these incredible space camps. So they had rockets and sort of different like obstacle courses. And it felt for a moment like we were in the real thing was happening. And you know, the beautiful scene with Emma and Tom, that sort of romantic scene. Like all of that we got to do on this campus at this museum, and that was such a privilege. I'd like viewers to know that this is a movie that you can watch with your kids. I have two children, and sometimes it's really hard to find that special family movie that's not only going to be appropriate for everyone, but it's going to speak to everyone. But I think that Rex's journey of having strayed from herself and then coming back to her dreams is something that someone of any age can relate to. I was initially inspired to make this movie by reading about NASA having their first astronaut candidate class that was 50-50 male, female. And it was such a milestone. I started to research it. I started to look into what type of people, what type of women would apply for this job and what they had to do to get themselves there. And I think my admiration for those people, and the more I researched, my admiration for people working in space research and women in STEM really carried me to the place where I wanted to tell an empowering story about following this big, big dream.
There are so many memorable behind the scenes moments. I think the one that stands out to me is being in Rex's bedroom for that scene with Emma, in which I'm 7 months pregnant. We're in between takes. I'm laying on the bed, just like being like a seal, a beached seal, and Emma is just doing lymphatic drainage and like pregnancy Reiki on me. And I will forever remember that. If I was given the opportunity to go to space right now, I would decline because I am claustrophobic. I have some anxiety. I get nauseous easily. I don't like being upside down. I have a 10-step skincare routine that I love. I like my squishy bed. And I have a bit too many creature comforts to be in space right now, but maybe in like 150 years. When I was younger, my dream job was as a child of immigrants and as a bit of an overachiever because of that. I said out of the 7 days of the week, I would be a teacher on Monday, doctor on Tuesday, lawyer on Wednesday, actress on Thursday, horse trainer Friday, pop star on Saturday, and then Sunday I can have off because I've earned it finally. One of my favorite days on set was the day I think we shot all of Nadine's phone call stuff in one day. I just did like quick changes for hair, makeup, and outfit to be different days. And Nadine is doing all of these different voices to impersonate the people that she fraudulently put on Rex's resume as a very good best friend. And our wonderful writer director, Liz Garcia, just let me go to town with it. And so it kind of is like every actor's dream to sort of just like, or not even actor's dream. It's just like when you're alone in a room cracking yourself up and like telling jokes to yourself, or when you're with a kid and like the kid is just cracking themselves up constantly. It was kind of like that where I just got to like giggle all day long, but it was um for work. The one thing I want viewers to know before watching Space Cadet is that they will have a silly, goofy, and happy time. They will have a serotonin boost. They will feel like their childhood selves in which anything is possible again. So be prepared. My character, Nadine, is a Florida girly. She is Rex's bestie and is a true ride or die. Nadine also really loves being pregnant. There's some people that love having babies, and that is Nadine. She has her own makeup business called Nadine's House of Contours, but her day job is working at reception at a gym, which she does not love. But she's a cutie pie. She has a heart of gold. She'd ride or die. She would do anything for her friends. And what I really love about her is that she really has a golden heart. She really is like the best cheerleader to have in your corner. She will pick you up on your down days. She will hex and fight your enemies. And she's always cute. Her belly is always out. She's always bedazzled. And her face is always beat to a pulp, um, makeup wise. And yeah, she's just a cutie pie. Working with Liz Garcia is a dream. She is both so chill and also so sharp, so creatively specific and talented in that way, and also so welcoming to what you bring to the ad libs and improv and ideas that you bring to the table too. And it's a really unique mix to have in a director. The world that she created with Space Cadet is so specific, especially all the Florida stuff. It's like such a gorgeous backdrop to this kind of movie about someone pursuing their dream. And yeah, working with the entire cast, working with Emma, all of production, I felt really taken care of as someone who was 7 months pregnant. It's not the easiest to film a movie at that time in your life, but they really made it a joyful experience. They took care of me. They made sure like my health and well-being came first, which, unfortunately is not always the case in the industry. So I really appreciated that a lot. I like look back on that time really fondly. The relationship between Nadine and Rex is just friendship at its very finest. They're both like incredibly down to earth in like a very not pretentious way where they love the simple things in life. They love friendship, they care about their family, they they love going to the bar, they love watching the moon phases. They are just they're kind of ride or dies for each other. And I think what's special about their friendship is like there's no secret underhanded jealousy or bringing each other down. There's just true like joy in someone else that you love reaching their dreams. And I think a lot of times women and femme friendships portrayed in movies, there is a scarcity mentality underneath it of like, if you get yours, I can't get mine. If you make it, like, I'm the one that gets left behind. And that's just so not the case. They both have their own dreams. Rex wants to be an astronaut. Nadine honestly loves being a Florida girly and like having Nadine's House of Contours. And they both just support each other in that dream so much. And I think it's just like a great friendship. And Emma was so easy to love and be like a bestie to. Um, and yeah, I hope that people feel inspired by their friendship.
Space Cadet is about a bartender from Florida who applies to become a space cadet at NASA, and her friend decides to change her resume so she can get in, and she gets picked to go and be a space cadet candidate, and or an ASCAN as they call them. So, and my character Logan O'Leary is the director of operations who then falls for Rex, this girl. So the audiences can expect to have a lot of laughs. It's a very enjoyable ride with lots of fun along the way. The most memorable is probably the karaoke scene stuff, because me and Emma were rehearsing for days before starting shooting 3 different songs of what we thought the karaoke song would be. So we were in rehearsals together with a singing coach to try and get the right song in, and we had no idea. And it turned out on the day, I think it was the day before, the night before, we found out which song we were doing in the karaoke scene. So we kind of had to wing it on the day, which actually works quite well because it looks like we don't really know what we're doing, which is kind of what karaoke is all about, I suppose. Yes, I would. In the right spaceship, not any old can. The Terminator. Then I wanted to be a fighter pilot, a rugby player, footballer. That's a soccer player for you Americans, and then an actor. That would be the list of things I wanted to be. I also wanted a hoverboard, but that didn't ever happen. I had a few favorite scenes. The karaoke scene would be up there. It was also, I think, one of the first scenes we shot actually was karaoke scene. I enjoyed some of it, like I really enjoyed some of the scenes with Gabby Union. They were really fun because we just got to play around. And then definitely like all the phone call conversations to Rex's references and then to Rex herself, like got to have a lot of fun doing those. To I think to recognize that it's a really fun world that you're about to watch. You know, it's and it's an opportunity to be inspired to follow your dreams, I think. Logan O'Leary is the director of operations at NASA. He's a British, Oxford-educated man, and he's been an astronaut, and now he works at NASA on the ground there, training new astronauts. And I think Logan has fallen into the trap of being Mr. Professional all the time, with very little room for fun. And Rex comes along and she's the epitome of fun. And I think there is a hidden side of Logan that he's trapped away somewhere inside himself that gets brought back out with Rex. And that's why he falls in love with her a little bit, I think. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the first things I enjoyed about the first meeting with Liz, is how collaborative she was. And then also when I first arrived in New York to meet everyone, you know, John Berger's a producer as well, was brilliant. He's super collaborative, and as was Emma. You know, I think we got on very easily, very quickly, and I think that's important on this kind of set where you have to be able to be free to do comedic stuff but at the same time build chemistry. It's really important to have a group of people where everyone's really open to collaboration. So we were very fortunate on this set, actually. It was good.